The year is 1942. 6 months after the sucker punch at Pearl Harbor, the world watches in stunned silence as Imperial Japan tears across the Pacific. Hong Kong, Guam, the Philippines, fallen like dominoes. The juggernaut seems unstoppable, but a new kind of warfare is brewing on the horizon, a dance of steel and fire on a vast, unforgiving ocean. This is the story of the Battle of the Coral Sea, a clash that would rewrite the rules of naval combat and become a turning point in World War II. In the turquoise expanse of the Coral Sea, north of Australia, a deadly game of blind man's bluff unfolds. American codebreakers, unsung heroes in the shadows, crack the Japanese ciphers. They whisper of a daring plan, an invasion of Port Moresby, a key stepping stone to severing Allied supply lines. Admiral Frank Jack Fletcher, a bulldog of a man with a steely gaze, knows the stakes. He musters a ragtag fleet, 2 battered carriers, the Yorktown and the Lexington, surrounded by a screen of cruisers and destroyers. Opposing them, a juggernaut and the cream of the Imperial Japanese Navy, including the mighty carriers Shokaku and Zuikaku. Days bleed into nights. Men on both sides strain their eyes for the first glimpse of the enemy. Tensions crackle like static in the humid air. Then, on May 7th, a lone scout plane shatters the silence. Enemy carriers spotted. Adrenaline surges. Battle stations. The first wave of American dive bombers screams off the decks, a deadly metal hornet's nest. Below, the Japanese carriers scramble to launch their own fighters. The sky erupts in a ballet of fire and fury. Tracers streak like deadly meteors. Explosions blossom on the Japanese carrier Shokaku, flames licking the sky. But the Americans pay a heavy price. The Lexington, struck by a hail of bombs, transforms into a raging inferno. The Yorktown, though damaged, presses on. In a daring night attack, torpedo bombers find their mark. The Japanese light carrier Shoho, a pyre on the waves. May 8th dawns, a day of confusion and carnage. Carriers launch wave after wave of attacks, blind to the enemy's location. Through a cruel twist of fate, both fleets nearly collide head-on, only a hair's breadth away from a catastrophic clash of titans. Finally, with battered hulls and dwindling air wings, both sides retreat. The Coral Sea falls silent, littered with the wreckage of war. The strategic victory goes to Japan. Port Moresby remains untouched, but at a terrible cost. The Battle of the Coral Sea was a turning point. It exposed the vulnerability of carriers to air attack and halted Japan's relentless advance. More importantly, it bought precious time. American aircraft carriers, though wounded, would be back. A month later, at Midway, they would exact their revenge, delivering a crippling blow to the Japanese Navy. The Battle of the Coral Sea, a testament to human courage, a turning point in history, and a glimpse into the future of warfare, where leviathans of steel would clash not with cannons, but with the fury of the skies.